Hairlines is a CIA operation put in place to funnel money from the black community. And I have evidence. Take a look at Muhammad Ali. He was not only the most famous black man in America, goddammit, he was the most famous human being on earth at one time. And he ain't had no damn hairline. Look at Sidney Poitier, the Denzel Washington of his day, and he didn't have no damn hairline. Look at Marvin Gaye, arguably the greatest male R&B singer of all time. He probably took some of y'all grandmamas back to the hotel room after some concerts, and he ain't had no damn hairline. On into the 80s, look at Magic Johnson, the leader of the Showtime Lakers. You know that man was knocking down every woman who was moving. That's how he got himself in that trouble. But he ain't had no goddamn lineup. So how did we get here in the 90s and beyond, where Jalen Rose became a symbol of what a black man's hairline was supposed to look like? I'll tell you how we got there. I'll tell you how. The CIA infiltrated the black community, and they were able to get some of these black barbers to turn their backs on their community. See, think about this. Think about this. The way Marvin and Muhammad and all them boys were keeping their hair, you ain't got to see the barber that often. You ain't got to go see your barber that often with them boys' hairstyles. But if you want your hair to look like this, you're going to have to see your barber damn near once a week. And the federal government knows that the more money you spend on that hairline, that's money that you can't spend on starting that business. That's money that you can't spend investing in your own community, in your schools. Oh, I say it again. You've been had. You've been took, hoodwinked, led astray, run amok. This is what he does. So while this brother is having a good time in the barbershop and he's laughing and grinning, he does not know that he is keying to his own oppression. Yes, those are black hands that are giving him that hairline, but he does not know that that barber is just a puppet and the federal government is the puppeteer. They know by you trying to keep your hairline on point that your pockets ain't gonna be on point, and they can continue to rob the community blind. But at any rate, the evolution of black men's hairlines is historic. So happy Black History Month.
Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, glory to Yahweh. By Hashem, Yahushua, by Hashem, Rikahakodash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and taught me this truth. Peace, blessings, salutations, and mercies to the elect and the 1/3 remnant out there listening and doing this word with all faith and sincerity scattered amongst the nations and the four corners of the earth. To you, I say shalom. The Lord willing, this video is edifying. It's going to be sent around. The clip that was played on screen. And Jake, he makes a very solid point, and he's speaking straight truth in this about pretty much how the CIA has infiltrated what you would call black culture and the leaders of so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, but specifically the Negroes, because, as we know, the Southern Kingdom is the, head of the nation, specifically speaking of Judah. They're the head tribe, so whatever they do, everyone else is going to follow. And this whole hairline thing, edge ups and looking crispy, that's more so of a new thing, right? You look back 40 years ago, 30, 40 years ago, Jake wasn't into lineups and, putting makeup on, because nowadays that's what they do. They spray you with some some makeup, essentially, to help your hair look more darker and filled in, right? They got hair plugs, right? So your edge up can forever look like it's not receding. But this is definitely something Esau has infiltrated. And through conditioning and propaganda, he's made this whole image of Jake be this effeminate nature, right? Unlike before when you had, men like Muhammad Ali and, Marvin Gaye, Michael Jackson. They wasn't worried about edge ups and shit. They wasn't getting makeup painted on their faces and, things like that. But through time, especially with Michael Jackson, you could see him digress into these different habits, right? For lack of better words. But it's all purposeful. It's not an accident because Esau knows who we are and he knows that, for him to have some type of longevity to his rulership, he has to keep us in perpetual sin. Okay. This is Revelations 12 and 10. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength and the kingdom of our power and the kingdom of his anointed, for the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our power day and night. Right. Why is he called the accuser? Because his whole objective is to frame us to be sinners, right? No better than himself, hoping that the Lord will forget about us and he will be able to reign, right? And accomplish his goal, right? Of world domination, essentially. All right, but little does he know the Lord is full of mercy and love for so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans who make up the nation of Israel. And Yahweh Shah, he came already and gave his life for our sins, right? And he's going to make another return to redeem us from out of this sinful state, regardless of how much Esau tries to create environments and frame us as being transgressors, right? So the Lord is going to have mercy upon us still, and he's going to choose us, all right? Because this devil knows the law, but he chooses to do these things, right, and promote violence and fornication, right, and hate towards, your brother, right, because he knows that it keeps us in a state of, or keeps us in a destitute state, okay, a destroyed state where he could capitalize and reap the benefits of it. This is Leviticus 19:27. Ye shall not round the corners of your head, neither shalt thou mar the corners of thy beard. And that's what's so prevalent now, to the point where if you don't do it, people look at you funny. Okay. Every once in a while, you hear a woman make a comment about it. Maybe your mom, she, her whole life, she been taking you to get haircuts, right? every week or two. And, the most important part to her was the lineup, right? So she'll notice when you stop getting it, or, maybe you dealing with a woman, right, who's used to dealing with worldly men. And when she notices you don't have a lineup, then she want to say something about it. Well, really, women don't really care about that, right? It's mostly men, since, waking up to this truth and repenting and doing the things in which the Lord has called us to do. When it comes down to this thing in particular, Jake has the biggest problem with it. Jake is the one who's going to sit back and talk shit and try to make fun of you for keeping this law, even guys that are so-called in the truth, who know their lineage, as far as like them being Israelites, right? They know the name of the Lord, but then they'll sit back and crack jokes because you don't have a lineup. But he wearing fringes, with a crispy ass lineup in the front and back, right? Just a straight hypocrite. And a lot of Jake don't really know the law, even though they swear that they abiding by it because they're wearing fringes on their shirts, right? So they don't even realize that they're following after the will of Esau, or after the likeness of Esau, because he's into that. All right. This is Proverbs 4. It's Proverbs 4 and 16. For they sleep not, except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away unless they cause some to fall. So this devil has to plot. He has to lay snares and traps for us to sin. Okay, whether it's through entertainment or advertisements or programming and conditioning, social conditioning, what's cool and what's not, right? That's why he has it to where now it's cool for a guy to wear fucking nail polish and makeup, and nobody say nothing about him being a homosexual, right? He's made homosexuality the new hip thing, right? Pretty much as a Jake man, to be a homosexual is like a way out of being Jake, right? They're more tolerant towards you, okay? You come in with a lineup and, dressed according to how they imagine you to be. Then a lot of the times they seem to show more leniency with you because you're of the world. But when you stop doing these things, you separate yourself, and now that spotlight is put on you because of little simple things like that, right? And it's all designed and purposed to be that way. For this is Isaiah 47:10. For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness, thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it hath perverted thee. And thou hast said in thine heart, I am, and there is none else beside me. That's why this devil will create a whole society that's predicated off breaking the laws of the Most High. And instead of you being punished for breaking the laws, he gives you riches and prosperity. That's why he'll go back and persuade and convince and deceive Jake into doing these things, right? Because he believes he's the Most High. He wants to be the Most High power, right? It's in his heart to run the world, right? But he's not, of course, he's not fit to do so, and he's not going to get to, but he's going to try. Okay, he knows that the key to his success is us being in ignorance and following after him and not the Lord. So that's what he's going to try to do. He's going to try to pervert us as he has been perverted, right? That's why it says in John, yeah, of your father the devil, and the lust of your father you will do, because that's what Jake, right, is caught up in, okay? Pleasing Esau, doing the things in which he deems acceptable, right, versus what Yahweh Shema Shah says. All right, so without give all praise and glory to Yahweh Shema Shah by Shem Kakudash, Wa Abba Babal, and DTA, DTN. Shalom.